Hey there, Taurus Sun, Taurus Moon, Taurus Rising. It's Maggie. Welcome to Moon Directed, where we work with energy to see how we can best utilize it to move our life forward in the most positive way possible. Before I turned on the camera, I was getting into your energy, and I have a feeling this is going to be an interesting conversation today. So what I saw was it was like the Arctic, and maybe the tundra, maybe Alaska and the wilderness in Canada. I'm not sure, but there was this lone figure trudging across this snow and just so bundled up, had a walking stick, and stumbled upon a little baby cub wolf that was abandoned, and it was abandoned because it was going to die. If it can't be healed and saved, then sometimes they're just cast out. So, or maybe something happened to the mother, who knows. It was all bleeding, and anyway, he picked it up and he stuck it underneath his coat and trudged on to his cabin that was along near the tree line, and nursed this wolf who was very reluctant to have human contact. There was a lot of patience. There was a lot of giving of space and allowing for the healing to happen. There was a lot of time it took to develop the trust between these two. It kind of reminded me of the story of White Fang that my fourth grade teacher had read us in class. There was this energy of, in healing the wounded soul of this wolf pup, the guy was healing too, learning to trust also. And so it is almost as though the healer is a wounded healer. And so I feel like for you, there's a situation where you have some deep wounds, and that you find your healing in the solitude and in the silence, but also in allowing yourself to heal others, because you know what they need. That's interesting. So taking the time and the space for yourself over the next couple of weeks to step back from your life and see where it is that you are, I just heard, licking your wounds, and that is not a bad thing. Like, at some point we have to pull our energy in and we have to take care of ourselves. And so it could be that somebody is offering you, so you could be the pup, right? Or you could be the healer that's also a little bit wounded. It is having love and patience for yourself, for the process, for others, but it is meeting the basic needs of what your soul needs right now. And if it needs space and time, then that's what you give it. And so your overall energy for this next couple of weeks here, we have the building blocks. And so building blocks, in order to lay a solid foundation, it has to be slow and steady, meticulous process, right? If you just go in there and you throw something together haphazardly, then a tower moment will come along and knock it down. And so, okay, that's weird. So what I just saw when I said that was somebody picking through the rubble of after a tower moment had come through, and determining which blocks are still good to use to create something new. So I don't know what's going on, Taurus, but this looks really interesting. Let's get into the cards and see what they have to say. Sorry about that. If it's not at the right, if it's not at the right height, then I can't get enough light on the cards for you to see them. All right, so this is a 9-card spread if you've not been here before. This is past, present, future, thoughts, feelings, actions. I'll clarify each of them. This is the key to the situation, but the overall energy is this building blocks. And so, if you haven't been here before, even if you have, thank you so much for choosing this channel. I know that you have a lot of choices, and I appreciate you choosing this one. And if you could just take a second and hit that thumbs up, it really is very helpful to the channel. I'm sure you hear that on YouTube all the time. So the key to the situation is you are between worlds. Perfect. You are moving out of the gray into the turquoise blue Caribbean water energy, right? It's after the storm, after the hurricane has come through, and the cleansing and the clearing. But there's a wounding that happened. There's a need to repair and rebuild, to heal, and to allow yourself, when you don't want to deal with people, to give yourself permission to not deal with people. Sometimes that quiet is good, but at the same time, if someone is reaching out and offering to help you in a respectful way, allow yourself to the opportunity to build the trust and the bond. Because in order for that puppy to survive, he needed certain things, and there needed to be a bond of trust that had to be built. In the recent past, you felt like you just cannot breathe. How do I find peace? How do I find tranquility? And how do I connect with my higher self? When I say breathe, this is, to me, is about connecting to spirit through the breath, in through the nose, nice and slow, count to 5, fill up your belly like it's a big old balloon, and then release. And when you release audibly. This allows you to clear your throat chakra. Clearing the throat chakra allows you to be able to communicate your truth to yourself, to your higher self, and to others. So, that letting that air out and clearing that throat chakra, it's really important. If you hear, if somebody is sighing a lot, or somebody is constantly clearing their throat, there is a throat chakra issue, and there is a need for to be really authentic and honest with yourself about whatever that is. Okay, so breathing becomes really important. Okay, in the area of transformation, you have it's time to go. This is leaving behind a situation that obviously was very wounding on some deep level, and it's time to go and to move out of the gray into the turquoise blue there. In the future, in the area of abundance, you have a new life. It is in the reverse. That just tells me it's a delay. That it's just not time yet. That pulling your energy in and resting and healing is a necessity. And don't shortchange yourself. And don't shortchange the next relationship that you're in by not taking the time to heal from this one. Whether it's a business relationship, you left a company, but when I see this kind of wounding, it feels way deeper than that. This feels like family issues, like mother issues, father issues, partnership issues. And this feels really deep. This might be a good time to tell you, if this isn't your reading, to always check out your sun, your moon, and your rising. Okay, so here we go. In the heart space, you have come to the edge. This is getting ready. You have a lot of doubts, though, because this is an area where the mice are, and the mice kind of eat away at your self-confidence, your ability to risk, to try again. Do I let somebody actually bring me food and water? Do I let somebody try to save me? Do I let myself save myself? Too many walls and not letting anyone in. I mean, you can't break your heart that way, that's true, but you also aren't fully alive. And so coming to the edge, stepping out of the gray into the turquoise means taking that chance again at some point to risk, to find somebody to trust, but I think slow and steady, right? You don't just like throw open the door and say, oh, yeah, no, come on in. No, there would be a very guarded, getting to know, but being open and willing to see where it goes kind of energy. Ooh. All right. You have the why. That's the seeking answers in the heart space. It's a storybook with wings on it. I just want you to see. In the heart space, this is about you going deep into your past. What is your story? Being able to recognize in your story. Okay, so a lot of times we get into relationships that are complicated, or they don't work out because we are trying to resolve things from our childhood. For instance, let me think if I can. Okay, so Tauruses struggle sometimes with. Wow, let me think about every Taurus I know for a second. I feel like more with their. They have more issues with their mothers than their fathers, but sometimes it is their fathers. It's an authority issue. Like whoever was the authority, that's usually where the problem is. It's either they were not authoritative enough and they weren't protective enough. Like they didn't stand up for them, or they didn't. Tauruses have a tendency, you are ruled by the Hierophant in the tarot, right? And so that is the need to be your own authority. And so don't like being told what to do. Not many do, but some signs seem to resist that more than others. And earth signs in general are like, I got this figured out. I don't need you to tell me what to do. And so authority issues come in a lot for Capricorn and Taurus both. Virgo has a little bit different situation there. So there's this energy of needing to go back to your childhood because it was a puppy. It was a wolf puppy. Going back to your childhood and where was that wounding? And recognizing, oh my God, okay, hold on. And recognizing that is your grown-up self picking up the wounded puppy that is you. This is inner child healing energy. And teaching yourself to trust again. Because something sabotaged your ability to trust when you were little. And it is affecting relationships for you now. So I don't, and everybody's situation is going to be a little bit different on that, but there is something that wounded you deeply as a child where you felt unappreciated, left out in the cold, broken, bleeding somehow. There's so many scenarios that could set that up. But it's about going into your heart space and recognizing that you can't undo the past, but you can love your inner child and you can nurture your inner child and you can do healing work with your inner child. Man, there is such a great chapter on this in the Sophia Code, working with Kuan Yin and Baba Haji. The Sophia Code by Kaya, Kaia Ra. That is so powerful, and I know I went through that healing work this summer, and oh my gosh, what a difference. So I recommend doing something like that. There's a need for you to heal your inner child. Actually, I was thinking of doing a reading on that in the near future. I might really do that. Okay, so in the recent past, there's been a lot of obstacles. The obstacle has been your own doubt about your own personal wisdom and your ability to co-create with spirit what it is that you're trying to create. It feels like I keep running into the same thing over and over again, and why doesn't it work? There's a soulmate here. Okay. Soulmates. Wow. Okay, so soulmates come in all different categories. They can be pets. They can be friends, co-workers, bosses, family for sure, relationship partners. These are all soulmates. Soulmates come to help us to grow and to learn lessons. And sometimes they help us to grow and learn lessons by being nurturing and loving and kind, and that's amazing. And then there's others that come and they teach us the harder lessons of how to love ourselves, how we fill our own cup up with love. Because when we can fill our own cup up with love, then we don't need other people to do it. And a lot of us that were wounded as children by not receiving enough love in the home when we were little, that was the big lesson. And then I could speak for myself. I went out and had a lot of relationships with people who also did not know how to love themselves, and because they couldn't love themselves, they couldn't love me. And so there was not enough of the filling up of our own cups of love in order to have enough to share, to create that synergy of that third cup of love. And so this is when you start going, well, wait a minute, what is the problem here? And the problem is there's a hole in your emotional bucket that you are the only person that can patch it. When you patch it, when you do that wounded healing of self and your inner self, that's when you open the door to soulmates to come in that have already done that work, who love each other and love themselves so they can also love you. And when I look at this and I see this moving out of the dark into the light, and this why, I think you're figuring it out. Whether you've put it in those words or not to yourself, I see you are figuring it out, that you don't come to the edge, that you hold back in relationships, but you're looking at, no, I really want to step out there and I want to move things into that direction. And so how do you get there? So you have poised, and it is in the reverse. And it's much like this new life in the reverse. It tells me you still are going through the healing process. And while you're healing, you have chop wood. And chop wood means you keep doing your daily activities of life. Keeping yourself busy, but not neglecting this, right? So I know for me personally, I clean houses, and I've been through a lot of traumas that needed to be healed. And boy, I got to tell you, just the not having to use my brain really, just that working, that vacuuming, that dusting, that's not really mindless. I don't really want to call it that, because there are certain things you really got to know what you're doing, and timing, and there's but I've done it so long, it's really very second nature, and it's therapeutic. It's like standing in the shower for a long time for me. It's the same thing. It's like you're doing something, but your other part of your brain can be working on the healing process. And so giving yourself the space to do that, maybe literally going out and chopping wood, maybe going for a nice long walk, something that doesn't require mental effort. This is something that keeps your body physically active, so that you can think, oh my gosh, did you ever watch NCIS? The lead character has that boat that he's always building in his basement. That's his therapy time. He's down there and he's doing something, and yes, it requires some brain work, but it's a physical activity that allows him to keep himself busy while he's working through and processing and healing things. Although I wonder sometimes if he actually puts in a lot of effort on that, or if he's avoiding. So be careful about that. All right, let's see what we have here. You have a lot of cards. Spirit really wants to talk to you. So we have the Arrow. Surround yourself with protective energy. I do this every day. I call in a large spirit guide team, but you can do it with whatever you're comfortable with. So you can ask your ancestors, your guides, your guardian angels. Archangel Michael is a great angel to call in for protection. if you're doing healing work, ask for Saint Raphael to come in and help you with the healing, and Ariel to come in and help you to heal your heart. And just ask, say, even if you can't remember the name, say, whatever angels or guides can help me to heal Kuan Yin. Okay, Kuan Yin just raised her hand to help me to heal my inner child wounds or whatever this is, so that I can find that loving soulmate relationship that I truly want, that I'm open to giving and receiving in balance. Oh, these are so beautiful. It says, trust your talents in changing times. You have such great intuition, and you have this. Okay, so Taurus is represented by the Empress energy. This is that energy of, I really want this out of the way. This is that energy of nurturing and growing and manifesting, and you have the ability to do that. That is healing energy, nurturing, growing, manifesting, knowing what needs the extra, effort and time, and so doing those things for yourself. And then you have the Snake, shed the old skin. This is a period of transformation. You are getting ready to enter into a new life, but you're not there yet, and it is okay. It's time to let go of the old, to move into the new, to get to this point. So you have potential. Think big for your future. Find a way to abundance. It is money. There you go, Taurus. That's chopping wood. Just go out there and make some more money, but don't forget and neglect that the healing process has to happen too. Don't use it as an avoidance. You can use it as a way to keep yourself busy while you're healing. And you have gratitude, to be grateful for all you have. Gratitude is the number one best way to raise your vibrational energy. When you stop around and you look around and you start counting your blessings of what you have, then what you don't have magically stops mattering, and you are able to attract in more opportunities to create what it is you want. The trick to manifesting is what you focus on is what you're going to create. So when you focus on what you already have that is really great, you create more of it. When you focus on what you're lacking, then you create more of that. So it's important to stay focused on what you want, and not on what you don't want. I can almost talk. Okay, so you have seek emotional comfort and protection. That's that soulmate. Is there somebody in your sphere that is offering you the opportunity to nurture and love you through your process? And I'm not talking about a rebound relationship. That is never a good idea. I am talking about, is there someone that you can talk to, that you can really talk to, that knows you, understands you, and loves you no matter what? It could be a grandparent, it could be a sibling, it could be a best friend. Who is it that you can talk to that really understands and supports you and will be there for you? And then you have adjust behavior and communication. Adjust what you're doing. If you keep doing what you've always done, you're going to get what you always got, right? And communication, that is that being vulnerable and opening up, adjusting that. You're going to, this talking to somebody, looking for that soulmate that's got your back. Having those conversations. Maybe they can help you figure out some of the answers to the whys. Okay, well, let's get into the color card. I knew you guys were going to be my long video when I got that image, but this is important work that you're doing. You are building the blocks of a new foundation that will move you in the direction of where you want to go. You are poised for a new life. There is, what I'm seeing here looks like you are figuring some things out, that are really important and necessary. So take your time. Be really honest with yourself. And heal. You have lavender. This is that stay calm, stay centered. The breathing again. Maybe get yourself a nice lavender bath to rest in the evenings to calm your mind down and your body down so you can actually get some sleep. Sleep is really important when you're healing, whether you're healing from a physical illness or an emotional illness. Emotional illness. Emotional scarring. Okay, so it says connect to body, mind, and soul. Also connect to body. That's that chop wood. There we go. That's physical activity. Connecting through physical activity frees up a lot of stuff in your brain, in your heart space. All right, and I want to say, listening to music that lifts your spirits. Staying away from things that don't. Walking away from the noise of the world that does not help you to heal. Okay? All right, you guys take good care. Actually, next week, what I'm going to do is do videos. I will be doing the moon astrology. I decided I love it. Even if nobody watches it, I'm doing it for me. But during the week, I'm going to do, I really want to do divine masculine and divine feminine healing. We have both sides in both parts inside of us. This looks like something that might be helpful to you. And we're going to work through, for each sign, how to help bring those into balance. So we're going to do that. You guys take good care. I hope to see you soon. I think you need to connect with somebody and have a supportive conversation. All right, you guys take care.